What is happening, everybody? Abode Live. And actually, we're not even from Abode headquarters today. We are coming from our house. So, usually during this time, Ann and I will switch off going into the office. And so, we got the boys here. Sorry if they walk up here and I never told them that I was going live. So, anyway, today we are going to talk to LaTosha Thomas, one of our brokers. She is currently with us at the beginning of this year, and she's been doing a phenomenal job and getting her business going. So anyway, like I said, right on cue. There goes Wilson. So anyway, we're going to talk to her as soon as she gets tapped in. Up to that point, we just got the numbers back, or actually the September numbers are in, and it's pretty crazy seeing what's happening in Tacoma right now. The median price for single family homes is sitting at I want to say it's 389 or somewhere in that territory, high threes, but I mean that's just crazy. So anyway, there's a lot going on in Tacoma, even from the beginning of the year. So from January 2020 to right now, present day, I think the median price for single family homes has gone up $50,000. So I mean, that's a lot. That's a big jump. Are your wages going up $50,000? There you go. So anyway, here she is. Come on in. LaTosha's going to join us today for Abode live from the Jones household. You see the mid-century vibes going on up there. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going all right. Just thanks for joining today. I was at Chambers Bay, but
How was that?
it was good actually. Shot a little quick ad for Twina Nobles and
Oh,
did that whole deal.
yes.
I
Love
was actually a
Twina.
stand-in. I was just a stand-in. Ann was supposed to do it. I got called last second, so I was just like, all right, I'll be in it. It's a common theme.
Oh,
It's a common theme
no.
that happened.
No, you're not a
Yeah,
stand-in. You guys are an amazing package deal.
I guess. I'll take
Yes,
it. But yeah,
that's
it's a
right.
common theme. So we were joking about the Halloween candy I was eating before I got on here, but
Yes, how was that
have
Twix?
you? Oh, it was really good.
Good.
It's gone. It is gone. It's just a small one. Yeah, Craig, I agree. The median price being driven by income and low interest rates. What's
Yes.
We are. So after I get done with on here, sorry, I'm at the house. So this is totally on brand for 2020.
Yep.
Um,
Real
you know,
life.
yep, real life. So anyway, have y'all bought Halloween candy yet? That's the important question
Yeah,
because
but I can't quite say that we're like it qualifies
it
for
ain't making
Halloween.
it ain't making it to Halloween.
No, it's not.
Because
Yeah, so it's been in the house for sure.
because I
Um,
know every time I walk by that bag, I'm like, I'm just gonna have two. And
I
so next
know.
time and then that two turns into 10 because I walk by the bag like five
Yes.
times a day.
Yep. Yeah.
So
I
it's a
I
problem.
I tell Frederick all the time, put it in the cupboard, and then I don't see it. Craig, you're better than us.
Yeah,
Don't judge.
exactly.
I tell him put it in the cupboard. I don't want to see it because if I see it, then yeah, it's there. And then the kids eat it all day long, and they're here all day long. So then they're
Right,
buzzing around.
right. I mean, yeah, it's a
Nobody
problem.
needs that.
So I'm not going to eat this. I'll save this one just for you, Craig. But we wanted to talk about what I wanted to talk to you today about is just the success that you've seen recently and what has
Mm,
led up to that point. I mean, I think it's a good conversation to have for people who are just starting out or people who are
definitely.
who are just getting in the business or people just to know who might be buyers or sellers and understanding like what it's like to be on your side of the deal of being a real estate agent in a crazy market right now.
Absolutely.
So you joined at the beginning of the year, right?
Yes. I joined
And
Abode at the
actually,
beginning of the year.
before we start, I'm acting like people know who you are. Can you introduce yourself for everybody?
Oh,
Because,
everybody knows who I am.
oh, I know, right?
Yeah, sure. I'm LaTosha Thomas. My family and I live in Puyallup, and gosh, I guess it was maybe 4 years ago, five maybe now. I left a career in nonprofit where I worked with grant funding federally,
Okay.
um, and yeah, I just got burnt out. It was travel, like Africa travel, and Tristan at the time was 3, and younger than that. And so, we just kept going back and forth with all the sacrifice, and
Yeah.
finally made the decision that, my gosh, I have the cutest little, our neighbor's dog. I have to show you.
Yeah,
Hold on,
yeah,
hon.
yeah.
Hi,
Oh,
Mochi.
what a cutie. What's his name?
Hi, baby. His name is Mochi.
Oh,
So he just comes and jumps up on me. This okay. Anyways, he's like my favorite at the moment. Hi, Craig.
yeah, Craig, Sarah. Yeah, I agree with you, Sarah. Like that's a good way, donating candy instead of keeping it. Um, so yeah, so you came from that background,
Nonprofit.
nonprofit
Yep.
background.
Grant and contracts, which was a really easy segue into real estate. But I hadn't actually thought of real estate as a career avenue for myself. My husband had been mentioning it to me for years, and he said, You'd be excellent at it. You're great at
Hmm.
cultivating relationships and meeting people. And people come up to me in the grocery store all the time and start conversations. So,
Right.
and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not great at math.
You know,
It's
yeah,
not my favorite thing.
that's a lot. Welcome to the club. That's a lot of us.
Right? Yeah. And then it seemed like when I left my position, I stayed home for about a year with the kids. I wanted to do that, get our family on track and sort of back in the direction that we were wanting to go as a family.
Hmm.
And then for that year, I constantly was running into people, professionals in real estate. And
Yeah.
so I had a lot of opportunity to say, so what do you like about it? What do you hate about it? And honestly, the list of things that people didn't like was so short. It didn't
Oh,
matter who
okay.
I talked to across the board within the profession. So I thought, oh, I'll start looking at the education. I did that,
Yep.
took
Yep.
my time, and got licensed. Was plugged into a really great smaller boutique firm in Enumclaw, and
Hmm.
their headquarters is out of Seattle. So spent a year with them, and it was really nice to kind of get that um, padding, if you will, of
Yeah.
time of just the individual time and having the time to learn the contract
Yeah.
language and just sort of learn that side.
Yeah.
And I was glad that I had that time because then when I made the transition to Abode, it was like, what the hell? I'm starting all over again. Like I've learned a whole new world. I was talking to
It,
Suzanne today and she was like, I feel like I'm relearning everything. And I said, don't feel bad because I did
yeah,
too.
we're all there. I've been
Yeah.
there. I was there. Like, yeah.
Well, it's just, the level of professionalism and what Abode brings to the table is so special and unique that
Oh.
it takes time to just sort of get
Hmm.
infused in that. So it's
And it's
been a lot of fun.
and you haven't even. How many meetings do you go to before you even like?
Oh my
Because
gosh, like
you didn't even
3.
been to. So you didn't even experienced it like it's supposed to be experienced yet.
I
Wait till that
know.
happens.
I know. I can't wait. I love everyone so much.
No, it's all about the people though. I
It
honestly
is.
believe that. I think it's
It is.
it's about the people, and like we just need to get out of your guys' way pretty much and try to support you as much as possible. That's what we
Well,
do,
you
and
do that.
get out of your way.
You all absolutely do
You
that.
know, and
Yeah.
hopefully
And you know me,
hopefully
I'm like, I don't ever meet a stranger. So it
I
was
know,
easy
I
to
know,
join the Abode family.
I
Everyone
know.
was very welcoming and
I know.
very
I can't
sincere.
wait. That's tripping me out. Like I can't even believe that you haven't been to as many because the meetings now are all on Zoom, so it's
Yes.
different and it's not
Yeah.
the same. But just wait. Just wait till we get all
I
cramped
can't
up in that
wait.
little thing, and then the energy's all crazy, and then we go out and tour houses, and
Yes.
that day will come at some point in time.
I miss the tours. I
Yeah, I
really
know.
do miss the
I know.
tours.
That is fun. So what? So you've had like a crazy last like three weeks, or even just,
I
I mean,
have a couple
it's been a
months.
crazy spring to now. Like
Yeah,
it just kind of
it
started
really
off.
was.
You worked with Kylie on something, and then all of a sudden you were doing
Hmm.
something else, and now all of a sudden you're just like hitting the ground running. So talk about like what has that been like for you? Is there something that you were doing differently, or did it all just kind of happen at one time? What have you been doing to like go from just starting this year at Abode to now like selling? What you closed 3?
in the last, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
last month. At the
yeah,
end of
I
last month,
mean,
yeah.
how do you ramp up like that? Like,
Well, I'll say there wasn't, I hadn't ever heard of Ninja before coming to Abode. And I think that the heavy focus on Ninja really helped me in transitioning and
mm,
figuring out how I wanted to build my business and the ways that I wanted to connect with people.
mm,
So I think that sending out cards and just being available to connect with people and sort of cultivating that energy
mm,
has been really good. I cannot discount the fact that being in connection with people is so important because everybody that's on my calendar right now has been referral
oh, okay.
or someone that that I knew that pre-COVID probably wasn't even thinking about selling, but since COVID, they've realized they want some more space
Yeah,
and want
yeah,
some different things
yeah,
at home. So,
yeah,
um, and I just think that March was that slow, like we're not sure how COVID's going to
yeah,
impact real estate, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden it was just like boom.
yeah,
And as with everything, the haves have and the have-nots have more nots.
yeah, yeah.
So
And that's a whole other
people
conversation.
totally,
We'll touch on
totally.
that. But so like yeah, during that time we honestly didn't know what was going to happen.
No.
What's happened has happened, and this year has been a ride that none of us really expected. I always like going back to my January pictures
Yes.
because you look at yourself and you go, wow, I had no idea what was
None.
ahead of me at that time.
Zero.
Like I would recommend anybody that's listening to this or watching this, go back to your camera roll for January
Yes.
pictures. It's fun to look at because, well,
Do
fun
it.
is all relative, but it's just fascinating to see yourself in that moment, not knowing what
Hmm.
you know now. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just I trip out. I go back and look at it all
No,
the
it's
time.
so true. It's like you're a whole different person, still with some of those same important aspects of yourself. But
Hmm.
this year, I think it's definitely for everyone. I think it has been that way for all of us,
Yeah.
anyone in the world. It's just been a different time. And
Right.
we're lucky that as a team and as a family at Abode, you guys are great about keeping us focused on the next step, not just sitting in what's happening right now, but let's be focused on what's coming next. It's not numbers driven, we're human driven, and
Hmm.
that's invaluable.
Yeah. Well, we totally believe that the numbers will take care of themselves if you just take care of your
Absolutely.
people. Like
Yeah.
that's literally all it's about is take care of your people. Because we're in a people
100%.
business, and when you're in a people
Yes.
business, you got to take care of people. Like
Yes.
not numbers.
That's
The
right.
numbers, obviously, you want to have goals and things like that because that's how we're driven, and not,
Hmm.
but overall, that's only 1/8 of the
Right.
whole deal.
That's right. Yeah.
So, so you've had some success recently. What does it look like for you moving forward? Is this something that you feel like you can build on? How's the life, how's the life work balance? Because it went from, all right, I'm ramping up my business to,
Hmm.
okay, I got a lot going on this month. All right, Frederick, you got the kids, you got dinner. I'll see you. I'm out. Like I ain't gonna
For
see
the
you for the next
entire
day.
month.
Yeah,
For the
exactly.
entire month. Yeah.
So is that something that you plan on keeping up? Has it been a challenge? What have been the challenges
Oh,
in all of
absolutely. I plan to keep it up, like from now on.
that?
I think that with the experience sort of being thrown in, it's given me the opportunity to navigate that and figure out how to operate in making that my normal.
Yeah,
So, because that's what I want. I want to have
yeah,
a successful, thriving business. And so
yeah,
that's what that looks like.
yeah.
And I'm lucky that my kids are starting to come into a time where they're more independent. They don't need us as much. And
Yeah,
when they do need us, it's times that I can make myself available.
right.
Um, and I'm really lucky to have a really supportive husband.
Hmm.
So who he just steps in. I
Oh,
don't have to,
that's gotta be a number one, especially for
yeah.
the wife, because I know that having been in that position, like I remember when Anne was first starting out, I was teaching at the time and I had
Hmm.
summers off. So it kind of worked out where I was
Oh,
coaching in the winter.
perfectly.
So my winters were crazy and I wasn't home
Hmm.
very much because I was coaching with the team. And then when summers rolled around, I was at home and I had the
Yes.
boys and we would just hang out all summer long.
Yep.
And so it was nice to not have to worry about that. And also you have a, my job was more of a steady check. I had benefits,
Mm-hmm.
all of those things. So there
Yes,
definitely is a good formula for when people are joining real estate. And,
definitely.
you
I know
know,
Anne was joking with me all August, tell Freddie thank you. I know it's hard to
yes,
be a
she
single
knows.
dad.
She knows. She knows. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
and
used to be me.
it's on that note, I think that it's, people get it, but there's still this dynamic that you kind of have to work through as a family because
Yes.
even though the family gets it, they don't want to give up part of you. They don't want to
Hmm.
give up the parts of you that they're used to having. So, you know, attitudes sometimes flare but
Hmm.
it comes down to sitting down, having conversations and being really communicative about what's important to the family
Hey,
and to the individuals.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Let's just talk about it. Like traditional roles get reversed. Traditional
Thank you.
roles
Yes,
change.
they do.
And then we all got a little patriarchy in us. And
Hmm.
so like you those values and those notions get challenged. And you have to
100%.
like as a man, I can speak as being the man in that situation, like you have to put some things aside and be like, all right, well, I'm not gonna say I learned how to make dinner because I just learned like because I took an
Thank
interest.
you for your
I
honesty.
couldn't I couldn't cook nothing. I mean, I could cook spaghetti, tacos, hot dogs.
Yes.
Um, I'm a little better now. That was back when I was like, in my early 30s, and
Figuring it out.
I was
Figuring it
still
out.
figuring it out. I wasn't
Yeah.
there yet,
Right.
but still, there's a lot of traditional roles that get changed and
Mm.
altered. Now, that doesn't mean that women don't still do those roles. It just feels like y'all got to be superwoman to have a yeah, Craig said gumbo. Yep, I made some gumbo this
Yes.
last weekend. Uh, the like those things get challenged, and then not saying that all the roles exactly change or reverse.
Mm.
That's something that the parties have to go through, but it but women are still like you still have to do a lot as a
Hmm.
professional. I was having this conversation with a friend the other day, just like why do you have to do have to be super mom? I got
Yeah.
to do the doctors. I got to do this. I got to do this.
Everything.
We talk about that in our household, obviously, quite a bit. And I'm still not hitting the mark. I'll be honest. Like I still don't hit the mark because some things y'all could be in the bathroom. I go to the bathroom and everybody leaves me alone.
Yes.
She goes to the bathroom or takes a
Must be
shower,
nice.
and people still you still getting
And the
calls.
bathroom's full the entire time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dogs, kids,
Kids,
friends are coming
husband,
in there. Like, hey,
everybody,
whoa.
mom's calling.
Yeah,
It's like, no.
yeah. So I understand that challenge. We get that. Um,
Yeah. I mean, it's worth it. It's important. I think it's reality, and it's
mhm.
reality even for the parents who are out there and both are working steadily,
Right, right.
long hours and kids home and juggling and doing all that stuff. I think it's just important to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, for sure. And that's all it is, because it's never going to be perfect. And
Never.
that's for anyone that's listening, and they know. And
That's right.
the funny thing about our office is we have a lot of working couples. Like it's become
Yes.
the landing spot for working couples for
I
whatever
know. I
reason.
love it.
So
I
anyway,
love
that
watching them.
it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because I definitely know it's challenging in ways, and it's the best thing ever in ways. Um,
Yeah.
so other than this, how this year obviously has been a challenge for us in a lot of ways. We
Mm.
talk about race a lot in,
Hmm.
just in our office. I mean, it's a pretty
Hmm.
standard thing. But also, how has 2020 impacted you, like the George Floyd death, or even I just watched, I'll be like even from this morning in the meeting this morning, and Kylie brought something up, and that was a good reflection on her
Mm.
half. But I watched the video of the Breonna Taylor situation, and it
Mm.
all just started surfacing, and they're outside. The body camera was from an officer who was behind a car door outside,
Hmm.
and the boyfriend's walking out, and he's like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "My girlfriend's dead in there." Like he was distraught. I was just like, and
Mm.
the way that they were painting the picture though was like he was this drug dealer who was, man, this dude didn't know what was going on. He had
No.
no clue. He was like,
No.
"Yo, my girlfriend's dead. What is happening? Like what?"
Yeah.
And he
How
was
did this
totally
happen? We were
distraught.
just sleeping.
And
Yeah.
so this narrative, I get mad because like this narrative I was just sitting here going, yo, like, hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing? Uh,
Hi,
I
Matt.
was, but anyway, it was really disheartening for me to see that video because we all know
Mm,
the stories and how do we take this system that has been so corrupt
mm,
and been trying to cover its tracks for so long, um, and been just doing things the wrong way, and
mm.
not even looking at getting better. So I actually,
Yeah.
and here's why I say it. I can say that because I asked you the question. I just started talking.
No, you're fine. Please.
So I asked the question to an officer. We had for Crest Council because there was some data that came out in
Mm,
Pierce County, and the arrest rates were overwhelmingly in every city.
hmm.
Black people were being over arrested by 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
than other races. And all I'm looking for is for it to be representative of the population that inhabits that place, that city.
Thanks,
Oh,
Matt.
thank you, Matt. So we had a conversation, we had a Zoom call, and I had a pointed question about, do y'all look at race data?
Mm,
Like,
that's
do
a
do
great
the
question.
department, because in education, and this is what I'm saying, is I'm just saying as an institution that serves a community,
Hmm.
um, in education, we looked at the discipline data and
Absolutely.
grades and by race and how
Yep.
are we serving. And I didn't necessarily get the notion that that was being done at police departments. And I'm just sitting here going, how is that not happening?
Mm,
Um, I'm interested in that. So I think that they need to start.
absolutely. They
That's
need to
a
start.
just start, and
It's a baseline.
maybe some departments are, but I would challenge anybody here, or even a police officer if they're here. I'm past like the police officers because they're operating in a culture that's allowing them to do something, right? And so we got to
An
address the culture.
institution.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got to address the culture. We got to address the leadership. We got to address how they're doing things,
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's where I stand on that. So,
It's layered. You and I have had several conversations about this,
hmm
and my husband is in law enforcement,
hmm
and it's a convoluted conversation, and it's a
hmm
convoluted conversation even between two African Americans who live in one household, are
yeah,
married, and building a life together, and one is a part of that institution.
yeah,
Um, it is harmful and hurtful every time we have to turn on the news or pull up a feed that has the murder of Black and brown bodies.
hmm
And for those of us that are raising kids, George Floyd was a game changer because you had our children were watching television. They were looking at what had happened on the news.
hmm
Their friends were talking about it.
hmm
Um, they were seeing it on Instagram and TikTok
hmm
and all different types of things. And having the conversation of how does this happen? It doesn't make sense.
right,
And then you find out that the police officer knew him, and
yeah,
they just keep
that's crazy.
hearing more and more about these stories when we have lots of people that are in law enforcement, police officers, COs, all kinds of people that are
Yeah,
in law enforcement that are in their life that they love and they
hmm
respect, and they
totally.
feel protected when they're with these people.
Yeah,
Um, and they feel protected by the institution of policing. And at 11 years old, my daughter realizes that that's not her reality.
hmm
And so now it's figuring out what that reality looks like for her.
right,
And their generation, even at 11 and 12 years old, they're like, well, how do we change it? So
yeah,
we're talking about voting and the important choices that we have to make as community members and what that means.
right.
So to answer your question, George Floyd wrecked, I think, a lot of our lives and ideas.
hmm
Um, and I think that the conversation is just starting. I know we're starting to see some progress, but
hmm
on an overarching, I want to go on the record saying that on an overarching energy level, things are
Hmm.
shifting and changing. And I
Oh, for
think
sure.
that, when you talk about energy work, you always have to go to the root of something,
Hmm.
figure it out, and then sort of blast that so that you
Yeah,
can start to rebuild. And
for
that's
sure.
exactly what's happening in our culture and in this country.
I think so.
So hopefully that means we're moving in the right direction. I hope so
Yeah,
for our children and our grandchildren that it
I
is.
hope I hope so too. And I think that we have it's not this culture of, it seems like when the police, this is just for me, it
Hmm.
seems like when police, we can critique every other public institution that's supposed to
Yes.
serve our community with our tax dollars. We critique
Hmm.
teachers. We had the unfunded No Child Left Behind.
Yep.
We were teachers, and I was in education at that time.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, it sucked, but we were
Hmm.
just like, okay, well, we're gonna be. It's an unfunded mandate. We got to be better, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we did that. We talk about politicians all the time. We
Hmm.
critique politicians.
Yep.
We critique firemen, and we don't really critique them because they do. It's kind of one of those things that they just
Yeah.
do what they do.
Yeah.
And so for police, when we critique police, it seems like it's met with heavy opposition and they dig their heels and it's a us versus them and good versus evil and the bad guys. And it's like, no, 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 we're not in Baghdad. We're not in
Hmm.
another country. We're in a
That's right.
community.
Right.
So community policing, and I know that
Hmm.
a lot of them do it. And
Hmm.
that's the thing is like there's a lot of people doing great work in the police force, but
Hmm.
there's a culture that exists that allows these folks, the folks that are not trying to do the good work,
Yes.
or maybe they consider themselves doing the good work, except for certain people. And the numbers show that. So it is what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it seems like the culture is that voice is louder than the voice of those who are doing the good work. Because I know
Hmm.
officers who are doing great work.
Yes.
I know
Lots of
some.
them.
And
Yeah.
so how do we lift those voices within the police ranks to be the guiding voice and not
Hmm.
the ones that are digging their heels in? That's what I'm looking forward to doing.
Yeah. And shatter the silence.
Exactly.
Shatter
The
the
code of blue, whatever code,
yes.
that's got to go because that
Yes.
ain't working.
No.
That ain't working for me.
No, it's not.
So I think yeah. Let's see what Matt Darwin is in here. I don't
I
know
think
Matt.
he's. I don't
The
either. I
authorities
think.
been having any discipline white people, have experienced people have been white people. Um, we're in a community. Yeah.
Matt, we don't
Matt
say colored people.
Matt said the authorities these days don't have any discipline to white people. Either I have had experience and know of people that have had that have that haven't been pleasant to white people. I'm not sure if.
Well, and he's in UK. Matt, I will
Oh,
say
okay,
I've
okay.
been in UK.
Oh, you're in UK. It's full
I
of white
spent some
people. Yeah.
time, and there are plenty of Black communities in the UK. And I don't think that it's so much about people having to,
Mm.
walk on eggshells about um, the Black community or, hi, bro, pleased to meet you.
Yeah. What's up, Matt?
um,
We're taking questions from the audience right now.
Absolutely. And I don't think that you need to worry about walking on eggshells or even what you say. I think that you have to let your ego go and allow for other people to speak up.
Yeah.
Um,
Or just listen.
there's, yeah, just listen. That's
Um,
all.
and
Just
because
be open.
it's funny, we have these urban intellectual cards, and I recommend anybody go pick them up. They're online. They're great. We sit at the table and eat dinner, and I actually am looking forward to because we'll pass around a card. Each person gets a
Hmm.
card, and we don't know it's face down.
Hmm.
And you read about whatever the Black History person is. And Wilson the other
Yes, they're
night got
great.
one, and it was about the Haitian something in the late 1700s to 1800s, and how they were overtaking colonialism
Mm,
and taking back and I'm like, this is in the late 1700s. So this stuff
yes,
has been going on for
since the beginning
hundreds
of
and
time.
hundreds of years, right?
Hmm.
So what did that look like back then and how does that look like now? Not saying
Hmm.
that we're taking over the country, but like we're just trying to not be oppressed.
Yeah,
Like that's all I'm asking.
which is fair enough.
I don't want oppressive policy and laws and things like that.
Mm-mm.
All we just want to do is live. Most people
Yes.
just want to live. And
Yep.
so anyway, that's I appreciate the combo on that because it's a combo worth having, and I think we need to just keep pushing forward, as you know, and you know, with
Absolutely.
abilities and plan. Yeah, that's good, Matt. You should speak up, and everyone has experiences and perspective. But do listen to your black and brown friends at this moment, and 2020
And
is a
speak up. It's
hopefully
important for you to
and speak
speak
up
up
for
too.
them. Yeah, yeah, because
It's
their
important to be
voices,
having the conversations.
right? Your voice is important. Everybody's voice is important, especially white people who are speaking up on behalf of
Hmm.
their friends of color. If you think about it, we all know hey, I agree. Hey, you know what? You want to, I do this. I do this and I go, yo, what color is my skin right here? Like what color is that? Is that brown or black or white or whatever? Like,
White.
yeah, like that ain't, I mean, that's all the answer's right here. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So all of this is kind of fruitless. And for those listening on the podcast, I was holding up my hand with the palm.
Oh
And
yeah, the podcast.
my palms are white. So yeah. So anyway, do you have anything else that you want to tell the people? And thank you for everyone that's joining in. Matt, I appreciate you joining in. Brother Ko was in here. Craig, Shock joined in. We had a lot of people in here. Is there anything else that you want to talk to people about, or how do they get in touch with you? If they want to buy or sell a home, or they want to like get some really great real estate advice from
Yes.
LaTosha Thomas, super
Well,
broker.
you can reach me on the social platforms at LaTosha Nicole Real. And my cell number, which you can always reach me at, is 509-366-2503. That's probably the best way to text me, call me, message me, email, I guess, LaTosha at
Yeah,
Windermere.com.
yeah, there you go. Well, I appreciate you
I
jumping
appreciate the
on.
time, Dave.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you jumping on and keeping me company. Sometimes I'm just walking around the office aimlessly, and today it wouldn't have worked
I
out very well because I don't think anyone wanted me to go live from a Bode's account in my house, like and just
I
watching my kids go to
actually
school.
think that you need to start blasting the team when you go on so we know. Because even if I'm out and about, I can still hop on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll start doing that. I'll start doing that. I
Yeah,
just, it's something that's kind of every Tuesday. I'll be
every
here.
Tuesday. Every
Yep.
Tuesday. All right.
All
Well, I'll
right.
be tuning in.
Well,
Thanks, everyone.
thank you. Appreciate it, and
Appreciate your time.
keep doing a good job. You're one of the best in the region. That's what we like to say. We got a lot of great people. We're
The
really
family.
blessed. We're blessed to have
Yes,
y'all.
we are. We
So
are. Thank you. I'm
tell
blessed to be
tell the
here.
family said what's up and
I sure will. You
keep
too.
keep killing.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Talk
not
soon.
kill it. Not you know what I
I
mean.
know what you meant.
You know what I mean. All right.
Okay. Thanks,
Thanks.
everyone.
Appreciate it, Ty.
Bye.
All right. So that's LaTosha Thomas. Thank you for joining. If you This will be on the podcast as well, so it's also going to be on IGTV. We're going to start putting up all the Abode lives on there. Uh, Usually, I'm walking around the office and I show you what's going on around the office in live form. Thank you, Matt, for joining in. I appreciate that. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the podcast if you're watching the podcast, or hit the follow button if you're on the Windermere Abode um, account or on IG. So follow us there. And then if you want to reach LaTosha, you can reach her at what she just said. LaTosha Thomas, I think it's the top. No, LaTosha Thomas Real. Anyway, I'm going to cut that part out of the podcast. Thank you for joining. I'm out of here. Make it a great rest of your day. Peace.